you know, is one of those species that would accept that visitor both from the land and the sea.
A quick comment. I think Steve will support me. A lot. The site itself is a nature center, and a lot of times, again, getting people out there doing programs that involve the schools, the universities. That's the start. You know, as it evolves, there's plenty of room to incorporate something like that. So, you know, it's only a matter of time. In terms of the war eagle, I'm joking, but I'm also quite serious. I mean, everybody you talk to, the war eagle's here. The next person says the war eagle's here. So we have a general area, and archaeological sites are also somewhat sacred. So it's until you're actually going to engage that, you're told about an area, not a specific point. So that is part of the process. But it's kind of a cool idea to have a floating pier that doesn't disturb the area that we think it is. And think of the Arizona out in Hawaii. You could actually put commemorative plaques. You could do things as part of this floating promenade that bring a higher awareness and interaction with the war eagle without disrupting it.
Certainly throughout this process, folks have talked about the National Eagle Center in Waukesha. They've talked about what's happened, you know, in Dubuque with their museum, and so La Crosse has some wonderful museums, a lot of attraction here. So we heard from a lot of people. Now, whether that happens here and how we pull it all together, you know, that's another point. Is that, you know, we have the world's largest photographic collection of steamboats, I think, in the country at here at UWL. Those are certainly things that, you know, there's a great river history here, a story to tell for folks that like Huck Finn. Him and his son are reading Huck Finn. Tonight, tomorrow, when he gets home, he's going to continue reading it.
Doesn't a National Birding Center kind of sound exciting?
Yes, yes it does.
Encourage it. I mean, doesn't it sound exciting?
Certainly does.
Thank you. One vote.
Eventually, we're going to have private money coming in here. You know, private developer will drive a lot of this, whether it's through incentives or the market. But eventually, you know, the bulk of this, the city will do the infrastructure, but the development, the buildings will be, you know, privately driven. How will their input affect the plan, or how will it maybe look after the developer becomes involved?
Well, we don't know exactly how it's going to look, but I think what communities are finding is if we set the tone early, and we have some development regulations that a lot of communities are doing what are called form-based codes, so it really gets to, you know, architectural, you know, styles and build-through lines, things like that. You can set the tone. So the developer doesn't just come in and pretend we didn't, you know, do this for the last 4 or 5 months. So I think, I guess that's my thought, is that you really have to set the tone early, and you have to have a set of development standards, perhaps deed restrictions, covenants, that protect, you know, the current investors and future investors. So I think that's when we're recruiting a developer, we're going to tell them up front. We're not going to, you know, be hoodwinked by somebody coming in and say, you know, I'd like to put, you know, a strip mall up here. So, and I think it gets back to what that French filter, Latin filter, is that we have to be in it for the long haul. We can't just say, oh, the economy's bad, so we have to, you know, settle for a different type of development. So again, I talked to a developer today that Steve connected me with. We've been here for 160 plus years, and we really, the whole idea of this project is the city has to look forward to the next 30, 40, 60 years. And so, you know, we've done that before. You know, we have standards in an industrial park that's metal buildings only, and the next thing you know, it's a pole shed. So I think we as a community have to say, we're going to have a high standard and we're going to stick with it.
I have one more comment, sorry, dominating these here. Someone asked, where should we do things? And my recommendation, which doesn't mean much, but the ponds and the waterfront, and then what's the name of that one road? Is it Park or something?
Park Road.
That would end up connecting down at the end of the causeway. I think that's probably the least expensive and would make the biggest splash right away. And I think the developers will be a lot easier to obtain if you concentrate on that, boom, right now. I think that would be what I would envision.
Question right here. Here's a real big question for you. Many cities now are taking the tax off the buildings and adjusting it up on the site value to free up investment and to stop idle land speculation so the city fills in, becomes more efficient, and wages go up. How about that?
So there's a petition out in the hallway, and Joe Billings is going to take care of this for us. We're going to amend the state constitution. I mean, and that's what, you know, in certain countries that, you know, in states, that's what they do. They don't put the value, and they put the value on the land, not the building. But I guess in the time horizon here, I don't see that happening. We're probably going to stick with our current tax valuation structure. But I know I've heard that from you before. Oh, you have heard it too from Dave? All right. So anybody else? I think we're on the 7th day. We're going to rest. So when we adjourn this, we're going to go do some well-deserved rest and relaxation for everybody, and I'll probably buy the first round if that's okay with you guys. Anything for the final bit of the order? That's it. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody.
How many minutes before that's on Facebook?
Oh, tonight or tomorrow.
I see all your stuff.
Seems like